People always say that you have to have money to make money, and that there's an extraordinary level of sacrifice on the road to success. So how is it that investors like us, who didn't start out with much money and who don't rely on banks and credit, how is it that we can increase our income and build our wealth in a way that doesn't require us replacing one full-time job with another while still enjoying the things in life that matter most to us? That has always been the big question, and this podcast reveals the answers. I am Carrie Like, and this is the Investor Warrior. Okay, let me add everyone to the live stream today. We've got Howie Like, Alexandra Hayder, Danielle Orville, Ed Zulovic. I'm about to bring Josh Dates. And last but not least, we have Leon Thompson. So everyone is in the house.
Hey guys, how's it going? Can everybody hear us?
Yep, we hear you.
All right. Well, Investor Warrior audience and community, welcome to our first and inaugural Real Raw show entitled From Hello to Yes. And so if anybody's wondering what that's all about, one of the things that we are, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. Can you guys hear me? Danielle can't hear me. Okay. Danielle, you good? Nope. She's got an audio problem. Okay, I'll keep going while she works on it. So anyway, back to Hello to Yes. So influence mastery. So one of the things that Carrie and I have been made highly aware of in some of our training that we do recently is that our level of achievement and our level of success is directly correlated to our skills at integrity-based influence. And I like to use the word integrity to make sure that I'm really, really intentional about using the word integrity in there, because when we think about influencing people, we want to make sure that any kind of influence that we get across to others in our lives is integrity-based. Otherwise, the last thing we want to do is be manipulative and that kind of thing. So when I use integrity-based influence, that's what I'm talking about, right? Our skill at being influential in the different aspects of our lives. So whether that be with our clients, our sellers, if we're in the real estate business, our significant others, our friends, our family, our level of achievement has everything to do with our skill at being influential. And so the Real Raws From Hello to Yes is all about the skill and practicing the skill of going from hello to yes. And so we've come up with this game show format that we were really hoping to have a really good time with, in which we're going to do some role playing on how to go from hello to yes. And we'll give each other some feedback and we'll help each other out and we're going to have a good time. You guys all up for that?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go just left to right on my screen. I'm just going to go round robin on my screen. I'm going to introduce everybody. So everybody knows the great Carrie. Everybody in this community knows the great Carrie Like, so she needs no introduction. I'm Howie Like, and I am Carrie's husband, and I do sometimes co-host the show, and I come on and give Carrie a really bad time. And so I've heard
those
that
usually are very colorful shows.
Yeah, I heard that those are some of the more popular shows when we're going at it on the show. And so I do enjoy it. She keeps asking me to come back on, so it must not be that bad, right? So anyway, let me go around and I'm going to introduce next to my right on my screen is Alexandra Hayder from the great state of Minnesota. And Alexandra is in the metro area of Minneapolis. And Alexandra is a fantastic powerhouse, and I mean powerhouse investor of a real estate investor. Alexandra, can you just introduce yourself and tell us a quick fun fact about yourself?
All right. So my name is Alexandra Hayder. I live here in basically Minneapolis. I technically live in Bloomington, office in Edina. I met these two from Power Players, and a fun fact about myself is I actually ran with the Bulls in Pamplona State.
Wow, are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
You did that?
Yeah, and I got into the stadium with them too. It was awesome.
Oh my God! And you're still you live to tell about it.
I did. I thought I wasn't hurt at all, and then the next day I was like covered in bruises. So I think I must have got pushed around. But yeah.
Oh wow! I'm almost tempted to like just change the whole show format to you tell me.
Please don't. Too much stress.
Awesome. Next on my screen is Josh Dates. Josh is a fantastic friend and colleague, also real estate investor. In fact, I think this whole crowd is real estate investors. But with his wife Marlena, Josh and Marlena run extremely prosperous real estate business right out here on the coast, close to us, and we couldn't be more grateful to have them as friends. Josh, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing excellent. Thank you, Howie and Carrie, for having me on.
Absolutely. So take 30 seconds. Give us a fun fact about yourself.
All right. Fun fact. Me and my wife, we're a team in this business in real estate. So it's Marlena and I, we do this business together. Fun fact is a lot of the work that we do as real estate investors, we can do it anywhere. Right now, I'm actually at the beach in my car doing this podcast with you, but we've been all over the world. We've done deals in Italy. We've done deals in Spain. So you can do it wherever you're at.
So are you about ready to, like, when you finish this, you're going to go?
That's why I really like this business.
Uh-oh. We got a little delay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So when we're done with this show, you're going to get out of the car, pull your shorts up, and you're going to head on down into the water? Is that the
plan? Yeah, pretty much.
I'm jealous. Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Mr. Ed Zulovic from the West Coast.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. Thanks for having me here. Eugene, Oregon. Yeah, I'm doing awesome. How are you? Thanks for having me here. Yep, Eugene, Oregon. And fun fact about me, I like ultra distance endurance type activities, ultra marathons, Ironmans, long distance type stuff.
So what's the longest distance you've ever gone, Ed?
That'd be a full Ironman, so 140.6 miles.
Wow,
that's crazy. Yeah. Did you do that in Hawaii?
No, that is that's the World Championships. You have to qualify for that.
Yeah, you have to qualify to go there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you have to be a bit faster. I need to be quite a bit faster. So.
Have you ever heard of the Iron Cowboy?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
that's
did 50 Ironmans in 50 days in 50 states.
Exactly. That's just like
full Ironman. And he brought all his kids and his wife with him.
Yeah. And he wrecked and like broke his shoulder, and then he still kept racing, race after race.
He lost all his toenails.
He fell asleep. Yeah. On a bike.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you keep traveling to every single state. Every day they were on a plane, and then every day he was doing an Ironman.
That's just amazing.
For those of you that don't know, an Ironman is a conglomeration of 3 different sports, or 3 different events. The first one is swimming, the second one is cycling, and the third one is running. And the Ironman distance is as such. It's a 2.4 mile swim. It is a 112-mile bike ride, and then it's a full marathon at the end. So and it's all at once. It's not like 3 consecutive days. It's all at once. And so just to have finished an Ironman, Ed, is super, super incredible. It's something it's something that I used to do triathlons when I was younger. The longest I ever did was a half Ironman. And the thought of doing a full Ironman is just mind blowing. And then doing one consecutive 50 days is just like inhuman. So
yeah, inhuman for sure. Yeah.
Danielle, you're still struggling with sound?
She looks stressed, so yes.
Your turn. Would you message Danielle and just tell her to log on and log back on? Come back on?
Yeah.
That might help. Okay. Next on Leon Thompson.
What's up, guys?
What's up, my friend?
Man.
So, Leon, where in the world are you?
Man, I'm in that's my fun fact, man. You can't take that from me. We are in our motor coach that we just bought like a week and a half ago. So yeah, we've been traveling, man. Just it's crazy,
with
man.
3 kids. With 3 kids.
With 3 kids. So yeah,
you guys are brave.
Love it. Completely new experience. Man,
it's amazing. For those of you listening, Leon and his beautiful wife Brittany, again through the power of entrepreneurship and the flexibility of real estate, they have bought an RV, pulled the kids from school. Am I correct about that? Pulled the kids from school.
Yeah, homeschool.
Brittany is homeschooling the kids in an RV, and they are seeing the country. That is amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing.
we're in Tampa right now, but we're originally from Birmingham, Alabama. You know, we invest in real estate, multifamily, single family, starting to get in some RV parks. But mostly what we do is we educate others on how to get their first deal. So Brittany has a whole challenge coming up, how to teach people. GetMyFirstDeal.com to learn more about it.
GetMyFirstDeal.com. I love it. I love it. Like Carrie always says, you're only one deal away, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, fantastic. So Danielle popped in and then she popped out. So she's having some
Yeah,
technical
I think
issues.
she's having some audio issues.
Okay, so we'll just get going without her. As soon as she gets on, we'll roll through the whole thing.
She says we all sound like robots, so I'm not sure what that is. All right.
What you say?
She says we all sound like robots. What's your fun fact, Howie?
My fun fact. Okay, so here's my fun fact. I shared this recently. So when I first met Carrie in 2010, she literally the day I met her, she said, "I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and I'm looking for friends to go with." And so I said, "I'm going to go," even though at the time I had no idea how I was gonna make it to Mount Kilimanjaro. But I liked Carrie a lot, and I decided I was going to do everything I could to go on this trip to Mount Kilimanjaro. And so about 9 months later, we were actually in Mount Kilimanjaro, climbing the mountain, and we had just started dating. So from the time I met her to the time we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, we'd only been dating for a couple months. And so we were together, and we were climbing this mountain. And whenever I travel into third world countries, I always get a slight case of dysentery. So we were getting altitude sickness. It was probably like day 3, day 4. We have altitude sickness. Our stomachs aren't right, and you know we're braving the mountain, right? And so we're staying in this like little tent, like this little pup tents. And so the guides and the porters, they like carry everything for you, and they set your camp up, and they do all this stuff for you. And so we'd come and they'd feed us dinner, and then we would, we were wet. That's the other thing, is we got wet on day 2. And we were never really able to dry out. So we were always trying to get like our stuff off and try to hang it in this little pup tent on the rope and the strings. And so I had these long johns on, and I was on my back, and I had my feet in the air. And I went, uh-oh. And Carrie immediately picked up on my uh-oh, and she's like, "What's the matter?" And I'm like, "I just pooped my long johns." I was like,
oh my God.
So the moral of the story is, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro with the love of your life when you've just met may be a risky proposition. Danielle, are you with us?
I'm here now. I don't know what I thought you guys were messing with me. I was like, I knew this was what's supposed to happen. Go with it.
Well, I'm glad you're back. Perfect timing. You are last but not least, of course. Danielle is coming to us from North Carolina. Danielle, tell us what you're up to nowadays, and give us your fun fact.
Sure. Okay, so nowadays I relocated to Raleigh, North Carolina in June of 2019. So I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary, which is fantastic. I'm super excited. When I initially moved here, which kind of goes along with my fun fact, I moved here from teaching for no job. Most people are like, "Oh, you moved, you left your life, you must have had a job," right? No, not me. I had a 10-year job teaching first grade in Ohio, and just felt like it was time to go. So in moving here, I in that short amount of time, I sold copiers. I worked at a restaurant as a waitress. This food scene here is real. So did that for a really long time. So sold copiers, did waitressing. Then I started working for a group called, I don't even remember the name of it, but they what they wanted me to do was seek out public speaking events and then kind of run the sales coordination. So I did that for a little while. Then I was doing research and development for an application that one of the entrepreneurs that I met on my second day wanted to do. So we did that, lost my job during the pandemic because of the copiers, and then started working for a restaurateur, rebranded a restaurant, kept the bar afloat, got my real estate license, and now I am operations of a commercial real estate firm, all in the span of like just under 3 years.
Wow.
So, yeah. So,
that's like that's like dizzying speed.
Very much. So my fun fact, which kind of goes along with it, is I've always had at least one job or 2 jobs at a time. My very first job was a soccer referee. I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That, and I was working with my uncle. He was a caterer. So glad to be
So
here. Thanks, you guys.
How many jobs you got going now?
Oh gosh, I lost count. I lost count. All the hats. You know, if you're counting them, you're just wasting time.
How many?
So just keep
how
going.
How many jobs do you have right now simultaneously?
Simultaneously? Oh gosh, I don't know, 8 or 9 at a time, I suppose. That's what it feels like.
That's kind of like Alexandra's story. We could stop and do the whole show on that one.
Gosh, see, and I missed all your guys' intros because my audio wasn't working, so I'm blind. I have no idea what anybody else said.
Here's the great news. It's all on YouTube and Facebook, and it's recorded, and we can go back and watch the whole thing. So
This is great. Great.
All right, you guys ready to play?
Yep.
Ready.
All right.
So,
I'm gonna pick randomly 2 people to be to go from hello to yes, and the rest of the other 3 are going to be judges, and we're gonna walk through this whole thing, and we're gonna have fun with it. So I'm gonna take 1 female and 1 male. So Ed, I see you. You're the one sticking out at me. You're gonna go first, and then Alexandra, you're gonna go second. And now what I want all the rest of y'all to do is really, really pay attention to the delivery of this whole thing. Now, what I want you guys to think about is, what I want you to think about, Ed and Alexandra, is anything you want. Is there some kind of yes that you're looking for in your life right now? So it could be, I'll give you an example. It could be Joe Biden trying to get Putin to stop the war in Ukraine, and how that conversation might go. It could
would he be Joe and I'd be Putin in this?
It could be. It could be anything that you want, or it could be something very real to you. It could be maybe you're negotiating with a seller right now, and you're going to get on that phone call, and you're going to get them to say yes to your offer. It could be anything in between. Okay. So Ed, I said you're going to go first. Ed, I want you to sell to not sell. That's really bad. We're not using those words anymore. I want you to influence. So those are the other words that we're going to start to weed out of here. We're not selling, we're not pitching, we're not closing people. We are just using integrity-based influence to go from hello to yes. So the yes that you seek, Ed, will be from Danielle. And so tell Danielle who she is in this role play, and then introduce yourself. And we'll have 3 minutes. Carrie's going to keep the timer. We have 3 minutes each to go from hello to yes.
That's a lot to absorb.
I'll simplify it.
to Danielle or to Alex?
What yes would you like to seek?
For me?
Yeah, what yes are you looking for right now?
Would you consider moving from your state?
Ah, okay. And who's Danielle in this case? Who is she? Who are you convincing?
Convincing.
No, Ed, this is your scenario. So you tell Danielle who she is.
Not Danielle, Alexandra.
Yeah, I'm way confused now. Okay.
That's what, it's Alex. It's Alex.
Alex. Yeah.
No.
Alexandra and I.
I'm second.
I confused you guys. Let me back up. Alex is going to go second. Ed, you're going first. You're going to be role playing with Danielle. Alexandra, you'll role play with Leon.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
So Ed, you're role playing with Danielle. What yes would you like to seek with Danielle, and who is Danielle in this role play?
Okay. Yeah. So the answer that I would seek a yes to would be: would you consider leaving your state, North Carolina, to move somewhere else? And shoot, what's the second part?
Who is she? What is she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who is she?
Is she a homeowner? Is she a...
Oh my gosh, I had to go first. This is embarrassing. Jeez, guys.
All right, Alexandra wants to go first.
Ed, who
Ed,
are some of the avatars in your business? Who are some of the clients that you work with in your business that you have to influence on a daily, weekly basis?
People that have property that I want to buy.
Okay.
I want to structure those deals in a mutually beneficial way.
Okay. Who else? Who else is a client or avatar in your business?
Oh, pretty much just a general consumer of real estate, just retail. I'm looking to buy just a house and live in.
Okay. Okay. So you could take one of those two roles, and Danielle could be your ideal avatar. Like if you had your ideal avatar in front of you and you had 3 minutes to influence her to either sell her house to you or maybe for you to list her house on the retail market, whichever way you want to go, how would you build rapport with her and influence her in 3 minutes to say, yes, I would be willing to sit down with you more to talk about this?
Yeah. Okay. Not sure, but
I have a suggest. Ed, would you
this
like?
Is not what I'm good at. This is not what I'm good at. I struggle with this, so
I'll switch it up. We'll have Alexandra go first.
Okay.
And
Let's go.
And Leon.
All right,
Okay,
I know exactly what I'm doing. So
right.
I'm going to be me, and Leon is going to be himself, okay? And I'm going to sell him.
Uh-oh.
Did she freeze?
I'm going to sell him.
You froze.
Did you get it?
No, you froze.
Okay, should I say the whole thing again?
Whole thing again, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be me, the candle salesman, and Leon is going to be himself, where he is currently, okay? So we'll just be ourselves. I'm going to sell him this candle.
Okay.
It's a sugared lemon zest candle, and it's going to be me selling it to him where he is, and he's going to say, yes, he really wants this candle.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yep.
Okay.
You
So,
want
Leon, how is it living in that RV?
It's good. Freedom to go
it
anywhere I want.
It must be pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Where are you at now?
Tampa.
Tampa?
Yes.
Oh, that's so awesome. Say, I'm guessing you're pretty next to the bathroom there in your camper, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Did she freeze again?
She froze again. This is going in a good direction too.
Oh no. Okay, did you
Okay.
guys am I
You
back?
froze again. You froze again, but we were all laughing at the bathroom thing, and then you froze.
Okay. Yeah. So I have something. I understand. I love that you're in a camper. I think that's great. The only thing is, I know you're going to get out and you're.
Oh, no.
She keeps phrasing.
Oh boy.
All right. We got a few glitches in our go. Okay, Alexander, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You ready? Okay. Why don't you log off, and log back in? And
Okay.
I'm gonna switch the roles around. I'm gonna go to Danielle, and Danielle, you are gonna set the role play and tell Ed who he is, and you're gonna try and influence Ed. That's how we're gonna do this.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. So Ed, you are out for lunch, and you just want to have
Figuratively or literally?
No, that's good. That's dangerous. So it's lunchtime. You worked hard, so you're going to want to get a bite to have lunch and to have an enjoyable experience. And
All right.
I'm gonna convince you to let me order for you.
Nice. All right. Let's see it.
Excellent.
Ready?
I'm ready.
So hi, sir. What brings you in today?
Say that again.
I said, hi, sir. What brings you in today?
Oh, just looking for something tasty for lunch today. I'm not sure.
For lunch? Well, it's not every day that somebody comes in smiling like that, ready to have a conversation and have lunch. So I appreciate it.
Awesome. I'm always
So
happy.
have you been here before?
I have not.
Never. So this is your first time.
Correct.
Okay. Now when you came here, did you look us up? Like, I know you want lunch, but there must be a reason that you chose here.
I was just really hungry, and I was looking for the closest place so I can get some food because I get a little shaky.
You get a little shaky? Well, do you have any allergies that I should be aware of?
None at all.
None? So I know we just met, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, but do you trust me?
Yes, I do.
Well, good. I'm going to tell you what my name is, and then you can really trust me. My name's Danielle, and if you would so give me the privilege, I would love to, knowing that you don't have any allergies, you didn't come in here for anything particular, you're hungry, you want to get rid of the shakes, I'm more than happy to put in your order if you trust my judgment.
Sounds good. What is your favorite meal on the menu?
My favorite meal on the menu is going to be the salmon salad, because it's got this really nice crunch to it. They put these little like pistachios on there, and then it has some cranberries. And I'm going to do the dressing on the side for you. That way, then if you don't finish it, you're able to go ahead and take it with you. So you've got your protein there. You've got something fresh. How does that sound?
Do you have anything besides salmon?
Sure.
I'm not a big salmon fan.
Not a big salmon fan. Then what is it that would you prefer? I guess steak or lamb.
I do like fish, but just not salmon.
Okay, then I could do. Oh, I've got it. I've got this this mesquite shrimp that we could put over top. I could do something like that.
Quite possibly.
All right. Or I tell you what. We could do a combo. So we can do the shrimp, since you like that. Then we could do another meat that way then, and I'll bring you, like I said, a box so you can take it home with you. I know you obviously are working really hard. If you go back to the office and have a little, something else that you need to take care of, you'll have some more food with you. I can do either that steak or lamb with it.
Steak would be better.
Okay, so yeah. I've got then the steak and shrimp combo on top of a salad, and I'm going to have that right out to you, Ed.
All right,
yes, everybody. I like that. Yes.
All right. So everybody else that was listening, I hope you were taking mental notes, because we're going to give some feedback in a minute. But before we do, we're going to go to our second role play. And Alexandra, we're going to pick up where Alexandra and Leon were talking about Leon sitting next to the bathroom in his RV. And take it away.
And Alexandra is selling a candle to Leon. Yes. She's in the candle business.
Thank you.
Okay.
I am. I'm a candle salesman.
Okay.
All right. So Leon, I understand you're having a great time, and you're probably out there meeting a bunch of really cool people. And I just have to say, the one time that I was in an RV, I felt like you couldn't really get rid of the bathroom smell in there. So I actually have this candle that I'd be willing to let you have for only $5. I think it'll change your life. Are you interested?
Change my life? Wow.
Yep. Man. You're going to go out and people, instead of smelling like poop, you're going to smell like lemon zest.
Wow. Lemon zest.
Yeah.
And do you have a different scent than that?
I don't, but you're in between your current smell in your RV or the lemon zest. So
everything smells fun over here.
Yeah, that's because you're used to it. Not everyone else is, How about this? You try this candle. You try it for a couple of days. If you start getting more positive reactions from people, start making more friends, then you keep it. And if you don't, then you can send it back, and it's only $5 shipping.
I don't know if that lemon zest is going to go well with my sinuses. Do you have anything else?
I certainly do. Yeah, this is the best one, but yeah, we could get you, we can open up my coffee mug in your RV. Let that smell go around. Yeah.
All right. All right, let's get some feedback here. Josh, I'm going to bring you on because you haven't had a chance to talk yet. So Josh, let's start with Danielle and Ed in that role play. What do you think worked in the role play between Danielle and Ed? What do you think worked? What was working for Danielle?
I'm sorry, you guys paused halfway through it, so I didn't hear everything that you guys were talking about.
Oh, okay. Did you pick up the? Yeah, we can hear you.
All I could tell from most of the conversations, you guys got some pretty tough sellers there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Carrie, I'm going to go to you. So let's go to Dan because Josh is having some audios. We have some technical problems today, but so what worked between Danielle and Ed? What was working?
Okay, so I wrote down a couple notes. So a couple things that I observed with Danielle is she was very personable, made him seem comfortable as soon as he sat down. So she instantly started building rapport with him. But there were a few things that she did that actually I think you started to influence him in an opposite direction of where you were trying to take him, because you were asking him close-ended questions that weren't necessarily what he even wanted. So at one point, I heard you say steak or lamb, and you have no idea if he likes steak or lamb. So what I would have done instead is I would have asked for open-ended questions. Well, what is it that you like? What are your favorite kinds of dishes? Do you like spicy, or are you more of a sweet guy? So like asking more open-ended questions to people will help us gather information, because this is it. When you influence someone, it's all about how much information can you gather from that other person so that you can steer the direction that you want it to go. And so I know, like in a lot of sales training, they'll say, okay, give them a choice, this or that, right? And then it forces them to have to choose. But then it puts them into a box of, well, it's this or that. And they might not want either. And at that point, you're probably going to hear a, well, let me think about it kind of response. And usually when you hear, let me think about it, that means no, I don't want either. And you haven't gotten all the information from them that you needed to in order to find the best possible solution for them. Because that's what we're doing when we're trying to influence someone. We're trying to figure out the best possible solution that's going to work for them.
Well, that's great. That is fantastic feedback, Carrie.
Super feedback.
I also think
the other thing that I wrote down too was you immediately went into, do you trust me? And
I only had 3 minutes.
I get it. I get it.
Let's go.
But this was a good example, because whether it's 3 minutes or an hour, I think that we go into situations and we jump too quickly sometimes to that offer, assuming that people trust us, that we've built the rapport. And you're right, we all have to earn the trust. And I get that it was only 3 minutes. But I don't know, and maybe Howie, you have some feedback on this. I don't know that I would ever ask the question, do you trust me, when I'm trying to negotiate or influence?
I think that's
because what it sounds like is, should I trust you? Why are you asking me if I trust you?
How did you feel, Ed? How did you feel when she asked you that? Because I thought it was bold. I thought it was a bold statement. I actually liked it personally, but go ahead. How did you feel?
It was bold. It caught me off guard.
It was
we already have previous rapport and relationship,
Yeah.
so it's easy to answer that one.
Yeah. But what if you were out in a setting and someone was talking to you about potentially selling you something, and they said, Ed, do you trust me?
No.
But I was selling lunch, like, because that isn't something I would like normally do and my whole thing, my end goal was the character that I gave him was that he was going to eat for lunch what I ordered for him. So I guess I took that a little bit too literal, because I was trying to drive his choice and like, we're going to get to where I want you, which, all your feedback is that wasn't, I kind of missed the target on that and
I don't know.
Quantifying it.
So if I start from the beginning and give you my feedback, I thought that you did a fantastic job when he first walked up. In a very short period of time, you acknowledged him. You also acknowledged how he was feeling. Yeah. And you immediately got out of him that he was feeling a little peaked, I think it was that you said, Ed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, a little peaked. And so you got deeper than most people would. Most people would be just like, well, what do you want? Right. What do you chicken or fish, or chicken or beef. And you did a fantastic job of getting deeper, that, he really was in need of something. And then you dove into you actually got into a little bit of his past and present. You got really quickly into why he wasn't feeling good. And then you quickly kind of brought it back to what the subject was, which is he needed something to eat. So I thought that was super fantastic. I thought the rapport building was just about there where you could actually ask him if he trusted you, because he could have said no. I thought it's actually good to ask disruptive questions like that if you're feeling it. So I actually think that was a good disruptive question. He could have said, well, maybe not so much, you know, and that would have been okay. But you know, you got him going in the direction that you wanted him. And I think from there, I think then I kind of matched something that a couple things that Carrie said, which was you could have kind of through the power of questions led him to where you were going. And so from that standpoint, that I think I would give from a scale of 1 to 10, I would give you a 7 on that.
I'll take it. Great feedback, guys.
All right. So, Ed, you listened to Alexandra and Leon. Tell me what. Let's give Alexandra some feedback here. Tell her a little bit first what worked, and then we can get into a little bit of what didn't work. So, what worked first?
I think what worked first is she had an immediate. The candle was right there, and she identified really quickly. Leon was in the RV, and it's a confined space, and you need the candle. There's a problem, and there's a solution immediately, like almost in the same sentence.
Yeah. What could have worked better? You think? What wasn't working?
I think maybe only having just one option for the scent.
It was the only one in my office.
But that's tough. That's tough because it was the only thing that was on your desk. So that's a tough one. Yeah, that is a tough one. I do like that you had the solution like immediately. It was right on your desk and it's there. There's the topic and you did good with that. I like that. I thought that was creative, very creative.
Thank you.
All right. How about, what do you guys think if we flip it a little bit and I play Alexandra and I'll talk to Leon for a minute and see if I can sell him this candle. What's it? It's lemon scented. It's lemon scented. You want to go? All right. Are you guys ready?
Let's go.
All right. Hey, Leon, what's going on, bud?
Hey, man. How are you? I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Dude, what is that behind you? Where are you sitting?
Man, I'm sitting in the camper, man. The our motor coach. Yeah.
The motor. Oh, you did it. You guys did it.
Yeah, we did it, man.
Wow. Are all 5 of you in that coach?
Yes, we are.
Oh, tell me a little bit about it. Like how big is it and what's going on in that?
It's about 33 feet long.
Wow.
It's got a slide out on it. Yeah, we got 2 bunks, 2 beds, and another bed that drops down over the captain's area. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Leon, what got you guys to make this decision to buy this coach and pack up the family and get in it? Where are you guys going with it?
Man, really just to get out and just make a change. Change scenery. You know, we both grew up in Birmingham, but you know, Birmingham is feeling like less and less like home. So we got family there, but really the family is the only real roots that we really have there. So it's time to find some passion, find some love for another city. So that's why we went to Tampa, and because we always find ourselves in Tampa. Like every vacation, every trip, business opportunities are starting to pop up in Tampa. So we're like, hey, let's drive around Florida and see what we fall in love with.
Wow, that is amazing. So what I'm hearing is that you guys took the opportunity to do what all of us have dreamed of doing at one point or fantasized of doing at one point, and you pick up the family, put them in an RV, and you're going cross country?
Yes, cross country. We got some trips to California too coming up. I
can't even tell you how much I admire that. Like, I've always thought about it. I don't know if I'd have the guts to do it. I have so much admiration for you for pulling this off. How is it like, where are you going with this? Where do you guys see yourself a year from now? Are you still going to be driving around? Where are you going with this thing?
Man, we're definitely doing it for at least a year. We've got trips planned all the way out till to August.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're good as far as travel plans. Outside of that, man, really it's just finding, like you said, a love and for a city, and really connecting with other people. It's about the relationships that we're going to build with traveling. We don't know who we're going to meet, but the key is to be open, and that's the whole point of the travel, is to be open to change. Because I think so often in life, people resist change, and I did, but after many mentors and conversations with different coaches, is I need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And initially, like, man, we don't know nothing about a motor coach. We went against the grain. Everybody's like, man, you should rent one before you buy one. I'm like, no, this is the vision. This is the vision that my family and I have had for 2 years now. And the crazy part is the name of our RV is Vision. There's vision, the word vision on the cross of our RV right now.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Man. I can feel the enthusiasm and the excitement coming through, Leon. I'm so excited for you guys, and I can't wait to hear all about it as the weeks and the months pass. What's been the best part of it since you've been out so far?
The best part of it is that we get to see new things every day. Like yesterday, we were in a state park. I think it's called St. George Island area in Florida, and I mean, the beach was super beautiful there. It looks like very few people know about it because you have to go across several bridges to get to it. And it was, I wish we could have stayed out there for a couple of days to enjoy it more, but we really want to get to Tampa because, you know,
that sounds like absolute magic. You're seeing the things that the rest of us don't see because we're in such a hurry and we're on the expressway zooming by, and we don't get to see that kind of stuff. Wait, let me ask you real quick. What's been the challenges? What's it like having 5 people inside a 30-foot motor coach?
Honestly, having 5 people, the only thing I would say is every now and then I just want to say, get out of the motor coach, right? You guys got to stop fighting like cats and dogs. But no, our kids are great. I mean, does it get stuffy? It does get warm when you're driving it down the road sometimes.
Yeah,
I've heard of people turning on the generator and turning the AC on so that the air circulates because it can get a little warm. But other than that, yeah.
It reminds me of a Chevy Chase in Vacation quote when Chevy Chase was talking to the owner of Wally World, and they were talking about traveling across country in the station wagon with the family and that smell that you get. You know, it's like, oh, I know that smell. You think that you could use a candle to help with that?
I'm not a big fan of candles, man, to be honest. I got my Febreze air spray right now, baby.
Well, I got through a friend, Alexandra Hayder distributorship. I have some RV specific lemon scented candles that are just for that family smell. Wow.
You know what? I may not appreciate the candle, but my wife might. So, there you go.
All right. I'm going to cut it. All right. So who hasn't shared yet? Josh, did you hear all that?
Yeah, I heard it. That was awesome. It was a great rapport building.
Yeah, tell me what worked. What was working?
Like.
Oh, he froze. All right, Josh, I'm going to move off. All right, Ed, I'm going to pick on you again. What was working?
Rapport building was and being.
Whew. We are having.
Yes. Yeah, what was working is I like the fact that you used. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
You're good now. Yeah.
Yeah, Howie, you're really good with paraphrasing. Paraphrasing to me identified that you're good at kind of recapping what Leon was saying.
Yeah, that like acknowledgement, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think could have gone better?
I think you did really well. I think you built some rapport. You were talking. You participated in the conversation well. You got Leon to inject a lot of information about his family and some feelings and some emotions about that trip. I think you did very well. I personally think you did.
Remember,
excellent.
he didn't buy my candle.
No.
Let me go to Danielle. Let me go to you.
Yeah.
Let me go to you. What worked? What didn't? And why didn't he buy my candle?
Yeah. So you rapport is like 100% natural to you, like authentic. Scored on that 100% all the way through. Like Leon, I truly was feeling like your vibe. Like I felt like we were just having like a normal conversation. Like he was all getting into it, and we were kind of just sharing about life. So kudos to you on that. The piece that caught me was it took you a long time, and I know why, to get to your question or proposition, because you were stacking all of that. But my suggestion would be, you knew you wanted to sell the candle, or so kind of dropping snippets of that like along the way. Maybe with it, you got a bunch of kids in there, like, gosh, are they playing sports? Like, what's, kind of just dropping things and hints so that when you did get to that question, it wasn't just a kind of out of the blue, like, hey man, do you want a candle?
Totally
there was no other candle like conversation. So, but overall, like, I mean, I give that's a solid 8.5.
Thank you, Alexandra. Since I was role playing your spot, what was working, what wasn't? Why didn't I sell him the candle?
Oh, you're muted. Yeah, make sure you unmute.
I got her unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay. So I kind of piggyback off of Ed and Danielle. I think you did a really, really good job with rapport. You guys kind of became friends. Maybe, just not that you want to be pushy, but, he's kind of thinking you guys he had no idea you're trying to sell the candle until the end. And it's kind of like, you were trying to guide him there, but he's like, oh yeah, I have my Febreze. I have, these other ways to get rid of the mugginess in there. So I think maybe somehow we needed to guide him a little bit more to, he does in fact want a candle.
Right. No, I think that's really fantastic feedback. I'll kind of walk you through my process, and I'll even the part that I broke down.
Can I interject one thing?
Oh God, not you. No.
I was also going to say the same thing. It was like you were kind of like building rapport, and then like, bam, here, you want a candle? And actually, I feel that all of us were focused on the candle for the smell, where that's not necessarily the only solution that the candle provides. And what I heard, Leon, first of all, I love how you got Leon excited. Like you could just see he got so excited. And when you can get someone excited in your presence, they're naturally just going to gravitate towards what you have to say, because you're getting them in an excited state. So you did a really good job of like, what's your vision? Where are you going? And then what are the challenges? Because the solution to those challenges could be the candle, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a bad smell. And what I heard Leon say was, sometimes I just want to be like, get the kids out, right? So he's like stressed out because there's a lot of chaos going on in a very small space. And candles can actually, there's a science behind smell being able to relax people, being able to calm and center people. So I would have taken that challenge and said, you know what? I have a candle. It's lemon zest. I know that sounds crazy, but it's this candle. And for me, it just calms me. And I wonder if it would do the same for like your entire family. If like things start getting chaotic, you light that candle up and it just starts to like calm everyone down so that you can get re-centered and the chaos can calm down for a bit. I know that sounds crazy, but I have
Leon, would you have bought that candle? Would you have bought that?
Man, you don't know where my mind is going right now, man.
About a case.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
I would have bought the candle if it was for Brittany, 100%. I am not a candle person, but one thing I do remember is Brittany, she would light this TLC CBD candle to help calm things down.
Yeah.
That candle worked. I'm not going to lie, but I wouldn't buy it, but she will.
Interesting. So I didn't even know that about you, that you've had a previous experience with a candle. All I heard was that you have a challenge and, oh, maybe this candle could solve that challenge.
Yeah.
So let me break it all down. Let me break it all down because this is such a great role play. So whoever, Alexandra, such a great job of coming up with a super classic role play where we can break this down. So I led you through, Leon, what I'm kind of good at, what I'm kind of getting skilled at, which is I led you through, look at crosshairs, right? The middle is the present, kind of presently what's going on, okay? Then I went backwards and asked a little bit about what brought you to the present, right? This was all the rapport building. And you gave me a lot of access points, a lot of emotional access points. And then I as quickly as I could, because I knew I only had the 3 minutes and I was going over, I quickly took you to the future. Where's this all going, right? And the emotion and the rapport building, the emotional rapport building got stronger and stronger. Then I asked you what was working, right? I'll go up on the crosshair. What was working, right? And you gave me what was working. And then I took you into the challenges. And so I'm going to give myself high score for doing that. Where I broke down was exactly what Carrie did a fantastic job of, is she had level 5 listening going, and she was listening from more than just the one angle. You know, I was kind of trying to go down the angle that I wanted you to go down, and that's where I fell apart. But if it had been Carrie on the second part of it, she would have opened up different angles of access, different angles of conversation, if that makes sense. And so it's a great, you know, the whole, if you think about that as a formula, right? Present, past, future, what's working, what's not working. Now let's kind of talk about, you know, the subject at hand, and let's talk about what I might be able to help you with based on what I'm hearing, not based on what I want, the path that I want you to go down.
Yeah.
And that is an introduction to the mastery of influence. Does that make sense?
One thing I want to add too is this is integrous influence. So if I really thought that the candle wasn't going to do that, I wouldn't have used that entry point. I'm just, for this, all intents and purposes of this example, if I truly felt that the candle could help you calm the kids down, calm the chaos down, that would be my entry point. So I just want to make sure that we're also not just finding any way to sell it, right? I've got to have passion and passion to find what it is that I'm selling, and that I truly feel like it could help you. But yeah.
So I think even with my example, to add into that, like I basically made the same error, and I kept trying to drive what I wanted rather than hearing, you know, what Ed wanted and going and building off of that. So it's interesting, you know, two different scenarios, but really the same reasoning behind it. I was too focused on what I was trying to drive.
Because you want to know what I was looking for? I was looking for other types of fish, not salmon, like whitefish, cod, something else. And then I was like, oh my God, like beef and lamb. I'm like, no. And then
I gave you the bottom feeder.
I don't even like shrimp. So it's like, well, shoot.
Well, and this is where it's really important to keep in mind open-ended questions, because open-ended questions are going to give us so much more information from the person than a closed-ended question. If you had said, well, I'm not really a salmon person, instead of saying, oh, okay, well then what about steak or lamb? You could have said, well, what is it about salmon that you don't like? And that would, then you'd be like, well, it's just kind of fishy. Like I like the white fishes or the mahi-mahis. And then you were like, oh, okay. Well, if you really do like fish, here would be another option for you. So just asking those open-ended questions instead of this or this.
Alexandra, you were going to say something, I think.
Oh, she's frozen.
Always.
She's sleeping. We're so excited.
We put her to sleep.
There you are.
Yeah.
You were going to say something, but you froze.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is, like, if I had a chaotic RV.
Not again.
We're going to test everybody's internet before we get started.
No, you're good. Just slip.
Am I good?
One more time. If you had a chaotic RV.
Yeah, so actually, when I think about lighting a candle in like a chaotic RV with a bunch of people fighting, I'm thinking we're gonna set his RV on fire. That's like what I
Yep. All it takes.
I thought about that.
Out, it's gone.
Well, all right, guys. All right. I can't tell you enough how grateful I am that you guys came on this inaugural launch of the Investor Warriors Real Raw from hello to yes. I hope you had a great time. I learned something. That was awesome practice. I thought that was awesome practice because we're talking to people every day. We're talking, a lot of us are real estate investors, and we're talking to sellers every day, and we're trying to, influence them in certain directions that are going to work for both of us. And sometimes they're not always open to it. And, this practice gives us better and better access into those conversations and into achieving the goals that we have for both the seller and for ourselves, or the client and ourselves, or whoever that person is. So I hope you guys had a great time. It was fun.
Good.
Very much,
Thank you.
very much. And I think this just goes to show, everyone in here is just has such a brilliant mind, but it's just such a nod to we can always increase it and learn off of each other, even in simple, fun things like this. We get ourselves all worked up, but this is great. So thank you. I get myself worked up.
No, you're not the only one.
And there's really two sides of this. It just got me thinking, because we're all real estate entrepreneurs, and often it got me thinking here just a second, there's times where I'm in a position where someone else is making a proposition to me. And now I need to listen very carefully to make sure I can redirect that for what I need. And this show is awesome. But we were focusing on the person asking the question, and then the guinea pig was the person answering, right? But you can kind of change it up both ways, and break down me on my responses, how I was giving answers. I could have done better at maybe offering up different types of fish, or maybe not salmon, but maybe something. You know what I mean? It's the other half of the conversation that we didn't really get into.
You make such a good point, because conversations go both ways, right? I know people who have a really good time when they get cold calls, when they answer cold calls, and they actually turn it around on the cold caller, because they literally practice their level 5 listening, right? Level 5 listening is when we're really, really understanding where the person's coming from and what's driving their questions, because we listen that intently, right? And so they literally turn it around on the cold callers. And so it's a good point, right? It goes both ways, right? It is a two-way conversation at that point. And there's so much you can get out of it, even when a person is was initially trying to influence you. You might be able to really influence them and have a more fantastic outcome in that conversation. So I acknowledge you for that one, Ed. That's brilliant. Everybody, thank you so much. And we will see you on the next show. Carrie, you want to take us out?
All right, you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.
All right.